Are you looking for the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s on Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex schools? We're going to talk about that today. Hi, this is Michelle Forche Thompson with Fathom Realty. Welcome to DFW Real Estate. I am glad you're here. Today we are going to talk about schools in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I know when we were moving, anytime we moved with our children, that schools was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, things that we looked at before we decided where we were going to live. So I want to explain a little bit about schools in Texas and in this area. And then we're going to talk about some specific districts and about the housing market in those districts. So I've got a lot of information to share and I hope you find it helpful. So let's go. The first thing I want to talk about is my tips for researching schools when you are moving, whether you're moving across town or across the country or across the state. These are the things that I think are the most helpful ways to learn about the districts. When I was moving with my kids, we have 4 kids, I always used greatschools.org. This was a few years ago. So there are other sites too now that I'll tell you about, but greatschools.org still has a lot of great information. They have a lot of statistics, and then they also have parent and teacher and student reviews. And I think a lot of times those are really helpful, but they also have just the straight statistics, like how many passed statewide assessments and reading and things like that, graduation rates, attendance rates. So you can find a lot of really good information there. Another one that is similar but works a little bit differently is Nichecom, and it's newer. It wasn't around when I was searching for my kids. They take information from a lot of different sources and give districts and schools letter grades like A+, A-, A-, so on. They are not pulling from just one place, and they don't always give you just the straight number, but they're pulling from multiple sources, and they also have reviews as well, so you can read specific things that people had to say about the district or the school. Another place that I recommend looking is the state website for schools, which is Texas Education Agency, abbreviated TEA. So you can find the results for statewide assessments and other things that they grade the schools on. The other place I recommend you look is the district websites. I think looking at just the appearance of it, how does it look? Does it look like it was created in 1990 and then nobody did anything with it since? Or is it up to date? Are the events up to date? Is it modern looking? Is it fast? That will tell you something about the district. And then looking at specific department looking at specific department pages. So for instance, is the athletic department page really detailed and there's a lot of information? And then you look at special education or the arts and those pages are not as built out. I think that tells you something about what's important for that district. I would also look at the high school catalogs if those are available online. Look at the types of electives that are offered. Is there a good choice of foreign languages or is it just Spanish? Are there a lot of career and technical electives like cosmetology, automotive, EMT certification? There's a lot of them have things like that. Some of them have early collegiate high schools, basically is what they're called. And so the kids there can actually earn an associate's degree while they're also earning their high school diploma. So you can just see a lot of what is being offered in the high schools. And even if your kids are not in high school yet, even if you don't have kids yet, that will just tell you a lot about the district as a whole. And those kids grow up quicker than you think. So even though high school may seem really far away, it's not. And a lot of families, once they start in a district, they don't want to move their kids away. So a lot of people will still stay within the same district for, their kids' whole educational career. So those are just some things to think about when you're researching schools for your family. And next we're going to talk about Texas schools and schools in DFW and things you need to know. One thing you need to know about schools in Texas is that they are not done by county. It's not one district per county. I know some places in the country it's like that. We lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's Charlotte, it was Mecklenburg County. It was Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools that covered the whole county. So there were a couple of, smaller towns also, but they all went to Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. And then in Tarrant County, where Fort Worth is, there are multiple districts: Fort Worth, Aledo, White Settlement, Castleberry, Lake Worth, Eagle Mountain, Saginaw, Northwest, Keller, Carroll, Grapevine, Colleyville, Hurst, Euless, Bedford, Birdville, Arlington, Mansfield, Kennedale, Everman, part of Burleson, Crowley. So that's 19. I think that might be all of them. So around 19 districts in Tarrant County. So some of them are big, some of them are small, but you need to be aware that you are going to have multiple districts to consider, even if you've narrowed down the county that you want to be in. Also, a district could be in more than one county. So for example, Aledo ISD is in Parker County and Tarrant County. Northwest ISD is in Denton County and Tarrant County. And maybe they may be in 3 counties. So just know that they can cover more than one county, and then also the district and the city boundaries do not always line up. So for example, Keller ISD has part of Far North Fort Worth. They have part of Watauga, part of Southlake. Mansfield ISD has part of Arlington, and some rural areas that have Burleson address, part of Grand Prairie. So you need to really pay attention to the district and not just the city, if that matters to you. Don't just assume that if you're looking at a house in Fort Worth that it is going to be in Fort Worth ISD. Definitely pay attention to the district as well. Also know that the ISD borders will not change. So if your house is in Keller ISD, it never will be out of Keller ISD. It's always going to be there. But your attendance zone for your school could change, and especially in school districts where there's still a lot of new construction going on, they're going to build new schools, and so that your attendance zone line could change. You could end up at a new school. So just be aware of that. You're not guaranteed that school, especially if you're buying new construction. The best way to verify your school attendance, your district and your school, is to just go to the district website. So if you think you know the district, and a lot of times the real estate agents do get it right in the listing, but they don't always get it right. So that's why I'm saying to check. So if you are looking at a house that you like and you think it's in Keller ISD, you can go to the Keller District website, and there'll be a place to check for either bus routes or for attendance zones, something like that, where you can put in the exact address, and then it will tell you what schools you're zoned for, and it may also tell you what bus. Next, I want to talk about some of the specific districts and what the Nichecom rating is for that district, how many students are in the district, and then what the housing market looks like. And so for what we're talking about, a very large district is going to have over 50,000 students. A large district is going to be between 20,000 and 50,000. A medium district will be between 10,000 and 20,000 students. A small district will be 5,000 to 10,000, and then very small will be less than 5,000. I mentioned earlier that Nichecom has a few categories that they use for their grading system. So with the overall grade, academics makes up 50% of that overall score. And then the other categories are teachers, clubs and activities, administration, food, diversity, college prep, health and safety, sports, and resources and facilities. And that you can look on Niche.com to see the exact percentages on all of that. But food is the least important in their ratings. Teachers is more important. So you can see all that if you would like, and also where for each of those categories exactly what they're considering when they're creating those ratings. By far the largest district in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex is Dallas ISD. They have over 153,000 students and 243 schools. And the Niche.com overall grade is a B-. So let's talk about housing, the housing market in Dallas ISD. When I did this is February 2022. So when I pulled up these statistics, this is what was true as of that date. I looked at the number of houses that were currently active, coming soon, under contract, or had sold in the last 60 days. So I have a number for each of the districts for that. And then have the minimum, the maximum, the average price, and median price. So in Dallas ISD, the number of active, coming soon, recently sold, under contract was 2,331 houses. And I just did single family because some districts would have a lot of condos or townhomes and others wouldn't have any. So I just did single family. And then I did also take out any mobile homes so that would bring down some of the pricing and not be as accurate with single family homes. So out of that 2,331 number of houses, the minimum price was $31,000 and the maximum price was $18,900,000. The average was $622,000, and then the median was $366,000. So some people get confused with median and average. So the average is when you're adding everything up and then dividing by the number you added. So if you add 10 things up and then you divide it by 10, then you have the average. For median, it's the middle. So it means that there are half the houses are more expensive and half the houses are less expensive. So the average is $622,000. That means that some of those really high-priced homes are bringing up the average. Then the median is $366,000. So half the houses are more expensive than $366,000 and half of them are less expensive than that. So Fort Worth is the second largest ISD. It is only about half the size of Dallas, though. It is 82,891 students, 145 schools, and it also has a B- rating on Niche. The number of housing units that were active, under contract, coming soon, or recently sold was 1,508. Minimum price was $52,000. Maximum price was $10 million, and the average was $400,000. The median was $300,000. So you see that there's a much larger range of prices in Dallas and not as big of a range of prices in Fort Worth. And houses are overall going to be more affordable in Fort Worth versus Dallas. The third largest district is Frisco with 62,705 students. That is remarkable because Frisco has grown really, really fast. It is in Collin County. You have Dallas in the middle of Dallas County, and then north of Dallas you have Plano, and then Frisco is north of Plano. And so they are the third largest with 62,000 students, 73 schools. They do have an A+ rating, and the number of houses that are under contract, coming soon, active, recently sold was 611. The minimum price was $236,000. The maximum price was $3,950,000. The average is $699,000, and the median price is $645,000. So to get in Frisco ISD, you're going to be paying much more than some of the other districts that we're going to talk about. Easily into the 500s, 600s, nothing below $200,000. In Arlington, the fourth largest district, 59,532 students, 78 schools, and they have a B- rating. I worked in Arlington. I actually think it's a good place to work. The number of housing units that in the market recently sold, 731. The minimum price out of those was $130,000. The maximum price was $2,950,000. Average price was $350,000, and the median price was $307,000. So your houses are more affordable there than Frisco, obviously. And there's you can get quite a few choices at the $300,000, $400,000 mark. And it is possible to find things under $300,000. They're just going to go really quickly. The fifth largest district is Garland. They have 55,701 students, 73 schools, and they have an A- rating on Nichecom. The number of houses was 788. Minimum price was $110,000. Maximum price was $4,100,000. Average price $364,000, and the median price was $329,800. So Garland is similar to Arlington in pricing, and again, it has an A- rating. The sixth largest district in the area is Plano with 52,629 students. They have 82 schools and an A+ rating. We have 692 houses on the market recently sold, and minimum price in Plano is $225,000. Maximum price is $4,495,000. The average price is $580,000, and the median price is $479,000. So it is one of the more expensive districts that we're going to be talking about. Louisville ISD has 52,189 students, 64 schools, and it has an A rating. Louisville is one of the districts that covers multiple cities and towns. So it has Louisville, Flower Mound, Highland Village, the Colony, and part of Carrollton. It is a very large district geographically, but it does have a good rating with an A rating. The recently sold and currently active coming soons is 740. The minimum price was $150,000. The maximum price $6,900,000, and average price $605,000. Median price $464,000. A lot of building is still going on in part of Louisville ISD, but a lot of it's more established. So the new construction is generally more expensive than the more established neighborhoods. So there are some things that are affordable there, but that new construction is just really driving up the average price. Next, we're going to talk about schools in the large category, which is 20,000 to 40,000 students. We're just going to go over the A+ and A's and the rest of the list because there's a lot more districts in each of those categories. So we're just going to look at the A+ and the A's, and the first one is Mansfield ISD, has 35,669 students and 45 schools. Now Mansfield is a district that covers a pretty big geographical area. The population of Mansfield itself is just over 70,000. So for the school district to have 35,000 students, it's not just Mansfield. It is part of Arlington, part of Grand Prairie, some rural areas that have a Burleson address and Mansfield address, and then a little bit of Fort Worth where it comes down really far south. So it is a big district geographically and covers multiple cities. 45 schools, like I said. 605 is the number of active, recently sold, and coming soons. The minimum price was $170,000. The maximum price $1,750,000. Average price $472,000, and median price $435,000. Mansfield is an area where there is a lot of new construction, and so again, the new construction is driving up that average and median price. Next, we have Keller, also has 35,000 students. They're at 35,267. 42 schools also have an A rating. Their housing count was 595. Minimum price was $170,000. Maximum price $12,900,000. Their average price $549,000, and median price $410,000. McKinney ISD is the next one on our list. It is 24,621 students, 32 schools, and also have an A rating on niche. Their housing count is 444. Minimum price was $200,000, maximum price $11,995,000, and average price $578,544, and median price was $500,000. This is another district that has grown astronomically in the last 20 years or so. Lots of new construction there now, and the district has grown a lot. Next on our list is Hurst Euless Bedford, also known as HEB, but not to be confused with the grocery store. They have 23,816 students and 33 schools, and also have an A rating. So this district has the three towns, Hurst, Euless, and Bedford, that have combined to form one district, but each town is its own entity. So in the district, they have 382 homes recently sold, under contract, active. Minimum price is $165,000. Maximum price was $1,595,000. Average price $395,000, and median $352,000. And the last large school district that we're going to talk about is Allen, and again, a district that has grown a lot with new construction as the Metroplex has expanded out into the outer counties. They have an A+ rating on niche, 21,880 students, 25 schools. Their housing count was 266, and minimum price $249,800, maximum price $1,680,000, average price $562,000, and median price $491,500. So it is a pretty pricey district to be in, but there's a lot of very impressive facilities in Allen, especially for athletics. I do have some honorable mentions that score an A- on niche in the large category. That would be Richardson, which is north of Dallas, Northwest, which is north of Fort Worth, and Northwest is also a very big district geographically, covers a lot of rural areas as well as more than one town. Birdville ISD, which there is no Birdville. I don't know where the name comes from, but it covers North Richland Hills, part of Watauga. It's northeast of Fort Worth, so it's in northeast Tarrant County. They have an A- as well. And then the last A- in the large category is Eagle Mountain Saginaw. It is also north of Fort Worth. There is a town called Saginaw, and then the Eagle Mountain part is for Eagle Mountain Lake. There's no town called Eagle Mountain. Next, we're going to talk about the medium category. These are districts that have between 10,000 and 20,000 students. And the first one will be Wiley, which has 17,230 students, A+ rating, 21 schools. This is also a district that's been growing because of new construction as things expand out. Their housing number is 268. The minimum price was $120,000. Maximum price was $1,927,000. Average price $490,375, and median price $433,750. Next on our medium category is Rockwall. They have 17,007 students, 21 schools, and an A rating on niche. So Rockwall is interesting. It is a tiny county. It's like the Rhode Island of counties in Texas. So the Rockwall ISD covers a lot of Rockwall County, and there is a town called Rockwall, but it doesn't cover the whole county. There's a little bit on the east side that is in Royce ISD. It is also where there's been quite a bit of new construction in the last few years. So their housing count was 479. Minimum price was $200,000. Maximum price was $4,200,000. Average price was $622,000, and the median price was $480,000. Next is Prosper. 16,857 students and 16 schools. They have an A+ rating. Prosper has a lot of new schools, a lot of new construction. We had family that moved there, I think, in the 90s, and it was tiny. It's not as tiny anymore. So there's a lot going on there. A lot of new construction, a lot of recent construction just in the last 10 to 20 years. Almost everything has been built in the last 10 or 20 years. Their housing count was 426. Minimum price, $325,000 to get into Prosper ISD. Maximum price was $6,525,000. The average price, $776,000, and the median price, $693,000. So that is the highest average price that we've talked about, as well as the highest median price that we've talked about so far. The next district by size, Grapevine-Colleyville, with 14,234 students, 21 schools, has an A+ rating. So Grapevine-Colleyville is two towns, Grapevine and Colleyville. It is just west of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. So you get to see and hear the planes landing. It has 168 on the housing count. Minimum price, $199,000. Maximum price of $9,500,000. So the average price there is $917,000. Median price is $585,500. So there's some high-priced homes that are really bringing up that average a lot. When the count is 168, then those high-priced homes are bringing up the average more. Each one of those is like counting more. But then the median, you've got half of the homes that are over 585, and then half of them that are less. But it is one of the more expensive districts to find a home. And the last of our medium category is Coppell. They have 13,218 students, A+ rating, and 17 schools. There were only 108 recently sold, coming soon, and active and under contract homes in Coppell ISD. The minimum price, $281,000, maximum price, $2 million. Average price, $626,000, and median price, $569,950. So now we're going to talk about the small category. That is going to be districts that have between 5,000 and 10,000 students. And the ones that have A+ and A ratings, first one is Carroll ISD with 8,525 students, 11 schools, and it has an A+ rating. Carroll ISD is for the town of Southlake and a little bit of surrounding parts. So it's another district that does not have the name of the town in the name of the district. It's Carroll ISD. It is Southlake is the town. The housing count there was 89. The minimum price is $412,000. The maximum price is $11,500,000, and the average price is $1,584,000. The median price is $1,016,000. So it is half the houses there are $1 million or more out of that 89. Next on our list is Highland Park ISD. They have 6,864 students, 7 schools, and an A+ rating. Highland Park is very interesting because it is completely surrounded by Dallas. Highland Park ISD has Highland Park and University Park. They're called the Park Cities. This is also where SMU is located, and again, completely surrounded by Dallas. And their housing count is 76. The minimum price is $775,000. The maximum price is $43 million. The average price, $4,153,000. The median price, $2,425,000. There is not much under $1 million. I think that $775,000 minimum was the only house under $1 million. And Highland Park is interesting because what's going on Highland Park ISD, both of the park cities, is interesting because what's going on there right now is there a lot of very large homes that were built in the 20s, 30s, 40s. And right now, some of those are being torn down and then new homes are being built. So there's actually quite a bit of new construction there, even though it's completely landlocked and it's only because something's been torn down. But then you also have people that are completely renovating and updating the older homes. Some of those have been updated over the years and they're just needing another update. Some of them are very original and need a lot of work. So you can find a beautiful home there. You can find new construction and you can find gorgeous old homes, but you will pay to be, well, the homes are large. So you're going to pay for the home, pay for the location. The lots are also large. It is a beautiful place to live, and it is pricey. Next on our list is Aledo. They have 6,437 students, 9 schools, have an A rating. Their housing count is 264, so quite a bit more than Highland Park or Carroll that we just talked about that are slightly larger. Minimum price is $210,000. The maximum price, $2,262,000. The average price, $607,000. The median price, $550,000. Aledo is another area that's growing rapidly, has a lot of new construction. So there's some resale homes over there, but a lot of it is new construction. Our honorable mentions, A- overall grade on Nichecom for the small category, are Midlothian, Waxahachie, Red Oak, and Joshua. So Midlothian, Waxahachie, and Red Oak are all south of Dallas County, and then Joshua is south of Tarrant County. And then the last one we're going to talk about is Argyle ISD. So this falls in the very small category with 3,483 students, 5 schools, has an A+ rating. The housing count on the market, recently sold, coming soon, under contract, is 186. The minimum price, $349,000. Maximum price, $3,950,000. The average price, $752,000. And the median price, $645,000. None of the other districts that had that few students, under 5,000, even had an A-. One of the things you'll find when you get into those smaller districts is that facilities are not as great. They may not have as many choices in electives and AP and things like that. They could be very good schools, and if you're looking for a small school in a small district, they're worth considering, but they're just going to be different in what they have to offer as opposed to a district that is a little bit larger or even a lot larger. I hope this has been helpful. I'm sure it's been a little overwhelming because it's a lot of numbers and a lot of statistics, but I do think it's really helpful information. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. You can reach out to me directly or leave something in the comments below. And one final thing I want to mention is that a lot of these A+ districts, when I read the comments on niche.com, students sometimes were saying things like they felt really pressured to perform, they felt overwhelmed, and just some things like that with feeling pressure when everybody around you is an excellent student. And so I would read those reviews, just see kind of really what the whole atmosphere is, what the A+ rating is coming from real specific things, and the school district is performing well in those things. But those reviews also can tell you a lot, and I think that All of that is something that you need to consider when looking for the best place for you and your kids. So please let me know if I can help. Have a great day.